welcome to my channel, A Book Forest. My name is Kim and today I'm going to be doing my February TBR. February is a short month, so I tried to put some short books, not too big chunkers that will take me 2 weeks to read. So here we go. My project of the year is author Agatha Christie's Miss Marple series. So I've read the first Miss Marple book in January, and this is the second one that was published, The Body in the Library. So it's people wake up in the morning and they find a body in their library and they have no idea who that is and how it got there. And Miss Marple is probably going to help with that. I really enjoyed Miss Marple in the first book. She's kind of a little lady living in the village. She's gossiping with everyone, but she's very, very clever, obviously, and she kind of makes it a study of human nature. So her way of finding out mysteries, I think, is by everything repeats itself, like human nature, you know, it doesn't change. So she sees types of people and she sees events, and it reminds her of things that she's seen in the past. And that's how she kind of figures out what's going on. Also, the first book, she wasn't the main character. The main character was someone else. She was kind of always involved, like she found ways to know the facts, but she was not the one leading anything. She was just in the background. I'm curious to see if this is gonna be the case with that one as well. And I think I've read this before, but it was like more than 30 years ago, maybe, I don't know, so I don't remember much. Then I'm also doing Historathon, trying to do Historathon this year. So my book for the first quarter, so it has to be from prehistory to 500 AD, I think. And I chose Praetorian by Guy de la Bédoyère. So it's about the Praetorian Guard in Rome. Like, they were the bodyguards of the emperors. So it's from the start of their ranks to their end, I think. So very, I think we're gonna touch a lot of Roman history with this book. Interesting. Then I wasn't gonna pick this up so soon because I'm currently reading Fire and Blood by George R. R. Martin, which is the pre-history of the A Song of Ice and Fire series. And I thought I might wait before, but I'm gonna pick up a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, which is the last story set in this world in Westeros, or the world of A Song of Ice and Fire that I haven't read. I decided to pick it up sooner rather than later because there's a series coming out and my husband really wants to watch it. And I kind of want to watch it with him because we don't watch it, and maybe with my elder son. We don't watch that much TV together, so we're doing Stranger Things at the moment, the last season, and then we're gonna move on to this. Yeah, obviously it tells you soon to be a series on HBO. I'm like, why do they do this? It's not even removable. Like in 100 years from now, someone's gonna pick the book up and they'll be like, what's HBO? It's so silly. Like, make it removable at least. Anyways, so yeah, I want to read this. So I think it's during the time, the past. So before the events of A Game of Thrones. And it's a young guy, Egg, and Dunk, who is a hedge knight, and Egg is the squire, and they go around, like it's during a tourney, I think, and they go around and they have adventures. So that's all I know about this. Yeah, well, I want to read it before we watch the series, so that's why. And then I'm gonna pick up this book here. It's called Bird Cottage by Eva Meyer. So Len Howard, Gwendolyn Howard, was a real person. She wrote books. Around 40 years old, she was living in London, and she decided to retire to the country alone and just dedicate her life to studying birds. And like it was her passion. Like she let them roam free in her house, like all the windows were open and the birds could come in whenever they wanted. Like I would never do that, but like think of the mess. But yeah, it's quite an interesting life that she led. No, like not everybody did that. So she was studying like the native birds in England, robins, sparrows, tits. Like I love robins, are so cute. And she wrote 2 books, and this is a novelization of her life. So I'm probably gonna pick up the books that Len Howard wrote, but first I'm gonna read this since I have it on hand. It's on my shelves. I thought it was an interesting concept, and yeah, something out of my comfort zone. I don't usually read books like this, but it sounded so sweet, and a different life. Usually I would put only about 4 books on my TBR, but I'm adding another one which is not small, but it's my classic. Like I've just finished a classic, and I like to have one on the go at all times. I don't, right at this moment in my life, I don't read them very fast. I usually keep them on my bookshelf, on my nightstand for like a year or so before I finish it. It might happen the same with this one, I don't know. But I read the Club Dumas by Arturo Pérez Reverte in January. And this author definitely has a thing for Alexandre Dumas. Because he's, in this book, of course, it talks a lot about him. And also he's written the Captain à la Triste, who is kind of like a Three Musketeer. He's like living in the same period but in Spain, and has like he's doing the swashbuckling thing. So it made me kind of want to continue a series I've started, which is the Three Musketeers. So I read the first book, Les Trois Mousquetaires, and I want to read the second book, so 20 years later, so 20 ans après. So this is set like 20 years later, after the events of the Three Musketeers. And it's during the early reign of Louis XIV. So the first book, The Three Musketeers, is set during the reign of Louis XIII. And his son Louis XIV just like took the throne, and he's young, and the nobles around him are doing a revolt. It's called the Fronde, and it's set during that time. And usually, like when you see things about Louis XIV, you always see it during like his Sun King days. You never see the early days of his reign, very rarely. So that's going to be interesting. And it's all our main characters: Athos, Porthos, D'Artagnan, Aramis. They're just, I think, gonna get back together, or maybe they're gonna be on opposite sides. I don't know. So yeah, it's set during that time, and in England, like that's Charles I, the painting. In England, it's kind of around the time where Charles I is getting probably his head chopped off. So yeah, I'm not finishing that in February. Like it's written very small, like it's a big book. So I'm just gonna start it. Don't know when I'm finishing it. So yeah, those are the books I'm gonna read in February. Let me know if you've read any of them, what you thought, or what you're reading in February. See you next time.